I will now read out of the chapter 7 out of the book Resisting Reality, Social Construction and Social Critique, written from Sally Haslander. And the chapter 7 is about gender and race. So what are they, and what do we want from them to be, from gender and race? And the first three citates are from different writers about these topics. So the first one is, if her functioning as a female is not enough to define woman, if we decline also to explain her through the eternal feminine, and if nevertheless we admit provisionally that women do exist, then we must face the question, what is a woman? And this is a state from Simone de Beauvoir, The Second Sex. And the second citate is from Hélène de Généré, My Point, and I Do Have One. So I guess you could chuckle and say that I'm just a woman trapped in a woman's body. And the last one, my favorite, the truth is that there are no races. There is nothing in the world that can do all we ask to race to do for us. From Kwame Anthony Appiah, In My Father's House. So, and the last one is my favorite. The truth is that there are no races. There is nothing in the world that can do all we ask race to do for us. The other two, last but not least, the truth is that there are no races. Last but least but not last, last but not least, the truth is that there are no races. There is nothing in the world that can do all we ask race to do for us. From Kwame Anthony Appiah, In My Father's House. And so let us begin to read. I hope you will enjoy the whole chapter. It will take a long time, so be patient. It is always awkward when someone asks me finally that I'm working on, and I answer that I'm trying to figure out what gender is. For outside a rather narrow segment of the academic world, the term gender has come to function as the polite way to talk about the sexes. And one thing people feel pretty confident about is their knowledge of the difference between males and females. Males are those human beings with a range of familiar, primary and secondary sex characteristics, most important being the penis. Females are those with a different set, most important being the vagina, or perhaps the uterus. Enough said. Against this background, it isn't clear what could be the point of an inquiry, especially a philosophical inquiry into what gender is. But within that rather narrow segment of the academic world concerned with gender issues, not only is there no simple equation of sex and gender, but the seemingly straightforward anatomical distinction between the sexes has been challenged as well. What began as an effort to note that man and woman differ socially as well as anatomically has prompted an explosion of different issues of the term gender. Within these debates, not only is it unclear what gender is and how we should go out understanding it, but whether it is anything at all. The situation is similar, if not worse, with respect to race. The self-evidence of racial distinctions in everyday American life is at striking odds with the uncertainty about the category of race in law and the academy. Work in the biological sciences has informed us that our practices of racial categorization don't map neatly onto any useful biological classification. But that doesn't settle much, if anything. For what should we make of our tendency to classify individuals according to race, apparently on the basis of physical appearance? And what are we to make of the social and economic consequences of such classifications? Is race real or is it not? Again, for what should we make of our tendency to classify For what should we make of our tendency to classify individuals according to race, apparently on the basis of physical appearance? And what are we to make of the social and economic consequences of such classifications? Is race real or is it not? This chapter is part of a large project, the goal of which is to offer accounts of gender and race informed by a feminist epistemology. Here my aim is to sketch some of the central ideas of those accounts. Let me emphasize at the beginning that I do not want to argue that my proposals provide the only acceptable ways to define race or gender. In fact, the epistemological framework I employ is implicitly designed to allow for different definitions responding to different concerns. It is sometimes valuable to consider race or gender alone, or to highlight the differences between them. However, I will begin by exploring some significant parallels. Although there are dangers in drawing close analogies between the gender and race, I hope my discussion will show that theorizing them together can provide us valuable resources for thinking about a wide range of issues. Working with a model that demonstrates some of the parallels between race and gender also helps us locate important differences between them.